Whispers of the Wind. In a quiet coastal town nestled between the sea and a forest of whispering pines, there lived a girl named Elena, a local florist known for her gentle smile and the wildflowers she arranged with love. Her shop, Petals and Pines, stood at the corner of the cobbled main street, always filled with the scent of roses, lavender, and lilacs. Elena had lived in the town her whole life, watching the seasons change through her window, her heart content, but also secretly waiting for something, or someone. One autumn afternoon, as golden leaves danced along the streets and the wind carried the salty breath of the ocean, a man stepped into her shop. He was a stranger, tall, quiet, with eyes the color of storm clouds and a camera slung over his shoulder. His name was Adrian, a travel photographer who had come to the town chasing stories of untouched beauty. "I'm looking for something wild," he said, glancing at the flowers. "You've come to the right place," Elena replied, offering him a bouquet of wind-kissed daisies and untamed lavender. That first meeting turned into many. Adrian kept returning, not just for the flowers, but for her. He would sit in the corner of the shop, editing photos and sipping her homemade chamomile tea, while she worked among blooms and sunshine. They talked about everything, the places he had been, the people she had met, their childhood dreams, their quiet fears. Elena learned that Adrian had once loved someone, but lost her in a tragic accident that left him unable to love again, or so he thought. And Adrian learned that Elena had never truly fallen in love, always waiting for a kind of magic she had only read about in novels. Over time, their friendship blossomed into something deeper. He began photographing her, always in soft morning light, capturing the way her hair danced in the breeze or how her eyes sparkled when she laughed. She started saving her best flowers just for him, tucking notes into his bouquets, "Come back tomorrow. I have something new for you." One evening, as the first snow of winter began to fall, Adrian invited Elena to the cliffs above the sea. There, surrounded by pine trees and moonlight, he set up his camera and told her to close her eyes. "Why?" she laughed. "Because I want to remember this moment exactly as it is," he said. When she opened them, he was holding a single white rose, and the look in his eyes was no longer stormy, but clear, filled with light. "I didn't come to this town for flowers," he whispered. "I came here to find what I had lost. And instead, I found you." Tears welled in her eyes as she stepped closer. "I've been waiting for someone to walk into my life like the wind, quiet but unforgettable." And so they kissed under the snow, the world silent except for the waves crashing below and the pines whispering blessings above. Years later, Petals and Pines still stood, now with two names on its sign. Elena and Adrian had filled it not just with flowers, but with laughter, photographs, and stories. Every season brought new blooms, new pictures, and the same love that had started on an autumn breeze. Some say if you walk by the shop on a quiet evening, you can hear the wind telling their story. Where the lavender grows. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and vast lavender fields, there lived a girl named Alara. She was known for her gentle smile, her long auburn hair always braided with sprigs of lavender, and the small tea shop she ran at the corner of the village square, Alara's Garden. Every morning, Alara would wake before dawn, walk through the lavender fields barefoot, and collect fresh blooms for her tea blends. Her life was peaceful, predictable, and filled with the scent of herbs and laughter of the village children. That peace was gently disturbed one golden autumn day when a stranger arrived. His name was Adrian. He came to the village seeking quiet, his heart heavy with grief. A well-known painter from the city, Adrian had lost both his muse and inspiration after the passing of his younger sister. He rented a small cottage at the edge of the village, just near the fields where the lavender met the forest. The first time Alara saw Adrian, he was sitting alone by the river, sketchbook in hand, his eyes distant, haunted. Curious but cautious, she left a small basket of lavender tea and honey biscuits at his doorstep the next morning, with a note, "Welcome to Lavelle. I hope our fields bring you peace." Days passed. The basket remained untouched, until one rainy evening when Adrian finally walked into her shop, dripping wet, holding the empty basket. "I think your tea made me remember something," he said quietly. From that day on, he began to visit often, sometimes to talk, sometimes to sketch by the window. Alara didn't press, didn't ask questions. She simply offered him a place to rest. Slowly, gently, a bond formed. Adrian began painting again. His first piece in months was a portrait of Alara in the lavender fields, sunlight caught in her hair. It hung in her shop soon after, though she blushed every time someone asked if it was her. Their days blended like tea leaves in water. Subtle, comforting, and warm. One evening in early spring, as the first buds bloomed on the trees, Adrian took Alara to the old oak tree overlooking the village. The sky was painted with soft pinks and blues. "I never thought I'd find color again," he whispered. "But then you gave me lavender, and suddenly I saw every shade I had forgotten." Alara smiled, her fingers laced with his. "You didn't lose it, Adrian. It was only waiting for you to come home." And in that moment, surrounded by the scent of blooming lavender and the soft hum of the wind, Adrian leaned in and kissed her, slowly, tenderly, as though he was painting her into his life forever. Years later, people still visited Lavelle not just for its fields, but for the love story whispered through its hills. And at Alara's garden, now painted in soft hues of violet and rose, Adrian and Alara served tea to all who came seeking a taste of healing, of love, and of the quiet beauty found where the lavender grows.